things. We tried to be sensitive to, those that spoke to the public and then some council members that talked about the wards. And it's, if you were just setting up the council and saying, here's what it is, that's one issue, but then you think about how do you transition that? How does that work, election to election? And that's where you start getting into some challenges to make that work, to allow still a ward structure that then there's orderly transition from one election to the next election to be consistent where you want to be. And so honestly, that's where the task force got back to say, is it that big an issue? We had mixed reaction from citizens and council, and so felt like that it really is going to be something that is going to be easier to function with, and people are going to understand easier year after year, because it's going to be confusing. Even if we develop a system, it's going to be probably so complicated that they can't keep it straight as to what's going on. So that's one thought that I just shared with. The other is I would encourage you to seriously consider doing this at the next meeting, because in essence, if we don't, except for a special meeting, you're looking at 2 years from then to take this before the citizens, which means, you're talking a number of years before anything can be changed in the process under a normal election process without a special election. And so we're really delaying that substantially. Now, I happened to visit with your candidates when they came through, and honestly, I visited with both the candidates about the fact that the city was looking at kind of restructuring itself. And honestly, to them, at least the reaction was very positive, that they felt better about, that potential as opposed to the situation that you're now in. So, of course, that could be the fact that they wanted to leave a good impression too, but I wanted you to have their reaction, at least to what you as a council may be looking at and the citizens may be looking at.
Thank you. Well, I think, first off,
just one final comment. I know the meeting was just held a few weeks ago, and I know we're putting this on a work session potentially for a vote next week, but I don't want you to feel like we just started working on this. I've been working on this. This was something Glenn and I talked about a long time ago. I've been researching this. I've been looking at different cities. How do they do it? What works? What doesn't? I've talked to a couple city managers. So this isn't something that has just been thrown together. The task force has really put some time and energy into this, and I have as well. I wouldn't propose it in my memo the way I did if I didn't believe that this was going to be a positive thing. So with that, I'll leave it to you guys.
okay. Well, I think let's get it on the workstation, on the agenda for our next meeting, and then we'll either up or down and move it forward, and let the citizens vote on it. Matt?
My question is, at our next meeting, should this proposal not pass as it's presented, is there still time to get an alternate planned out before the next election?
No, that's the unfortunate.
Can you have an alternate written and ready in case I win my vote? I'm going to vote against it as it's presented, because I don't like to keep a number. On the assumption that I win the day, can we have another option printed out that just makes it an odd number?
Exact same thing, just changes it from 5 to 6
That would be my request.
at large.
That would be my request.
I can do that.
So if something is amended, if we take this and amend it for some reason, we still can't get it on the ballot in November.
Yeah, you just.
If the motion was an amended form of this, it would not be a problem.
Well, what I'll try to bring to you is, yes, yeah, we will get it,
Okay.
but it's got to be done at that meeting.
Right, we couldn't postpone it to another 2 weeks.
Right, but I will have both drafted because they need to be sent over like the next day. And yeah, you can do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Mark, anything?
I don't have anything to add, just thank you for your time. I guess let us know if you have any questions.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you all. See you too.
Thank you. Next item we have this evening, I think everyone received the personnel file in the council packet. think there was maybe one section inadvertently left out.
Well, that's actually a new section that Jay is proposing and just hasn't got worked into the draft yet. But
Okay.
as you know, we've been working on this. It's time to get it in front of you, let you kind of have time to digest it and read through it.
I noticed you did not have anything in your personnel rules concerning drug and alcohol policy. So I prepared this, and that can be included. You'll notice in what I prepared, it makes references to Appendix D and E. Well, those are specifics related to U.S. Department of Transportation regulations for CDL licensing and whatnot. I've already prepared one appendix. I'm working on another, but I would like Katie to do a review of those before they are in the final.
Any questions?
I guess I just was wondering on the testing side of the drugs, that's not, I'm not seeing any list, I mean, I see alcohol or drug testing. Does that need to be specified further, or is it just, is it?
That's what the appendixes are about.
That's all the
They go
appendix,
into
is all the
the-
appendix, okay.
We have appendixes for Department of Transportation covered employees, and running the other one for non-DOT or CDL requirements.
Was that, what was my like?
Yeah, no, we covered the details of that.
So you've been able to review this whole thing yet, or still working your way through?
Yeah, actually, yes, Rebecca took what we had before, made lots and lots of changes. All of us reviewed it. Then we had a lengthy conference call with her. Then each one of us has gone through and made even more suggestions. So she's, I believe now we have all of our suggested changes in there. And yes, we've been through it. It's long, but it's changed a little bit. So that's why, you know, perhaps maybe the next meeting isn't time, but I wanted to get it out so you guys have time to read through it, maybe the end of September or something.
Okay. That's fine, there's a lot of work went into this. A lot of time spent on looking at policies. Anything else?
Me.
I guess I just, sorry, one other
Yes, go
question.
ahead.
I know a lot of companies have a self-reporting, they have a self-reporting. I know I have a problem, will the city help me out or something like that? Is that something that's
Employee
been
assistance
considered?
program?
Right, is that something considered, or is that something not?
We
That-
do.
And that too will be covered in the
Okay.
drug and alcohol testing process.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, with that, there's nothing else.
There is another.
We'll adjourn this evening. Thanks, everyone, for your work and time spent on
There was.
researching the
Can't get it on the table.
for our administrators. And have a good week. We're adjourned. Everybody needs to sign.
That's